Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Mr. Mattman YouTube channel. We are doing something interesting with the turtle today. So a lot of you know we have the LS in the car. It is currently still a stock bottom end, stock cylinder head. The only engine upgrades it really has is valve springs, a camshaft, and hardened push rods, basically stuff like that. But other than that, the rods, pistons, crank, all that stuff stock. So I've kind of been on the hunt lately for some big valved heads, you know, 243s, 799s, anything like that, just to get some more air pumping through the motor. And Grayling, my buddy, told me that there's a guy near him that actually sells LS stuff. He's got a set of 799s, but they're attached to an engine. And I said, all right, well, you know, if I can get a set of 799s heads anywhere from $400 to $600, I said, if somewhere in there, I'll go pick them up. Well, he told me, hey man, this engine actually has a bad lifter, and they swapped the whole engine. So I really don't know how many miles it has. All I know is it's got a bad lifter, but apparently I'm buying the entire engine for 450 bucks. So my Colorado, my daily driver, it has a bed topper, so you can't really fit an engine hoist back there. So what I usually do is I'll grab my car trailer and I'll put an engine on the front of the car trailer. But my father, for his business, they have a little tiny pull behind trailer for job sites, and I figured this would be a funny idea for today's video. So this is what we're going to use to pick up the LS engine today. How fitting. 1,000 horsepower race car, 4x8 trailer, and I don't know how much gas it's going to take, so I figured we'll just overkill it. But I figured the engine will fit nicely there, and since this has the, you know, the mesh flooring, it should be pretty easy to clean the engine. So this will be awesome. And I'm gonna swing by the post office on the way. One of the subscribers, Jocko Moto, purchased a shirt. I do apologize, it took a little bit. This week's been pretty hellacious. So it's currently Friday, and that's what we're up to today. So let's, for the YouTubes, let's go take the turtle and let's go do truck things. I mean, since this engine was from an 05 Silverado, I guess let's continue with the truck remembered what it did before. So let's get driving. Alrighty, so now I just dropped the shirt off at the post office. Figured it'd be kind of cool to do a turtle delivery. So I already messaged him and he's cool with me being a little late. Sorry for the delay. So now we're heading to the place to pick up the engine. I know it's right next to my buddy's shop, which is, I don't know, 15 miles away maybe. It ain't too far, but this would be just a fun adventure. So, start driving. So, I don't think I've ever shared this on the video. So you start it, this wakes up all the electrical power, and then we gotta click that switch, hold the starter. Sometimes it wants to start, sometimes it doesn't. And then we turn all the other stuff on. Now we're ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's do this. Alrighty, 5-3, Grayling, hi. This was Grayling's great idea. He was helping me look for cylinder heads, but conveniently they're attached to the engine still. So we are currently fork trucking them over to the trailer, and we are going to load this thing up. But as Florida, I don't know how the rest of this day is gonna go, because now it looks like it's actually surrounding us. So it might be an interesting drive home. So I gotta load this thing up and go fast home. Sure. Gas action? Oh, you're all the way already. Oh, yeah. Alright, go down. I'm gonna swing it. Anticipate the swing. Nope. Go up. Go down. that loaded up. So, oh, that thunder though. Yeah, we're gonna probably have a nice rainy drive back. So I'm gonna haul ass now. Got this loaded up, and I guess we'll see how it does with the extra weight. Graylin, thank you for your help.
Adios.
And I guess we'll catch him in the next video, or next time. I don't know. We'll see you at the track, I guess, soon. So, time to go home. We got the engine. We're just driving back now. It's a nice day for a drive. No, it's not a nice day for the drive. It is starting to get really cool out, which is cool. Literally, it's cool. I almost went off the road for that. I will have to say, so when it was pulling the trailer empty, and honestly I couldn't feel it. Right now it's a little bumpy, but the car really doesn't care. Perks of having a truck engine and a lightweight race car. Well guys, we have made it home. Turtle did phenomenal. I will say coolant temps all over the place. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but you will see upcoming mods. We have something to hopefully fix the cooling issues again. So I guess a quick rundown of this, or how this came about, is I was in the market for a set of big valved heads. So right now on the engine, I have an 862 casting, which is the factory head that comes on the trucks. I don't know where you can see it. It's right here. So right there, 862. That is what came factory on this 2005 5.3 that I have. But they have other heads available for LSs that have larger valves. So I'm thinking maybe flow more air through the heads will make everything a little bit more efficient. So maybe similar power levels, less boost, maybe. But also with my heads, there is issues on the driver's side. One of the holes that bolts the valve cover in the head, those are all stripped out. One of the holes that bolts the header on is kind of stripped. I just kind of forced it in there every time. So there is more than just one reason I wanted a different set of heads. But I was looking for heads, and in the market they usually go for around $400 to $600, somewhere on there, and I ended up just spending $450 on this entire long block. So I didn't want the intake manifold. I told him he can have it, but I mean, it's got everything: a balancer, it's got the cam, and I'm pretty sure it's got the crank sensor. Let's check. Crank sensor, yep, right there. So it's got the crank sensor. But I mean, for me personally, like, I'm gonna take the manifolds off, take the motor mount off, take the flat, like, nothing I really need. But he said he pulled this out because it started tapping, which was, he said, in the valve train. But then he told me whenever he pulled it out, they found that this oil pressure sensor was loose, which would explain all the crud from the oil. So I mean, this is a very dirty engine, but I'd be curious to see the inside. So I'm actually gonna pull off a valve cover real quick, and let's check the inside. I honestly didn't care about it before, just because it's not going to be run how it is. It's going to be pulled apart and have everything gone through. I am still not sure. This is actually an aluminum block. I don't know if I can actually put an aluminum block in this car, just because of the weight bias. It would be great to pull 100 pounds out of the car, but also, you know, I don't want to start doing wheelies. But I could also put that block in this car and put weight where I want it to. So I mean, there is a trade-off. Always you want to go lighter. Lighter is always faster. But anyway, we'll pull off the valve covers. Let's see what this engine looks like on the inside. So I can confidently say that this thing's kind of dirty on the inside. I mean, it's kind of goldish, but it's also got just that brownish look to it. But I mean, the oil looks like oil. Doesn't have any sort of milkiness to it, so that's kind of a good sign. All the threads for that valve cover bolts. This is what I'm talking about here. So right there, that little shiny standoff, that's where your valve cover bolts. All of these are perfect. And let's see here. All of the header bolts. Oh, nope, it's got one broken one. You win some, you lose some, I guess. That's pretty common on this LS stuff. Guy's broken in there. So that'll have to be extracted. That's not a big deal. But either way, I'm gonna strip off the stuff that I don't need. I'm gonna throw all that rest of that shit away. Oh, this dipstick tube's got holes in it. It's kind of wild. I've never seen something like that before. Huh. All right, well, I don't really need to film anything else after this. I just wanted to make a funny video. I get a lot of, I wouldn't say hate, but a lot of people on Instagram always talk crap. Oh, it's not a street car. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's not a street car because you have aftermarket wiring. So I'm really curious. Like, my definition of street car is kind of what I have. If you look on the inside, it very much still resembles a Miata. Still got a dash, a factory dash. I mean, it's still got everything in its factory location. It looks like a car. Doesn't have some monstrous tires on it that stick out past the body lines. I mean, it looks like a car, like a very simple car. And obviously it's got registration and insurance. And it can tow. So I'd be curious, what's y'all's definition of a street car? Is this a street car? Is it not a street car? Obviously it's a very efficient race car, but I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's dual purpose. I just towed, I'm gonna map quest it, or map, I feel old for saying that. I'm gonna check Google Maps, I'd be curious. So I'm gonna write down here how many miles it was. But, I mean, I'd be curious what y'all's definition of a street car is. Oh well, we'll save that debate for another day. I'll talk to you guys next time. We have some updates, some parts that are gonna go on the car, and kind of plans of what's going on. I have mentioned prior to this video, my engine is actually gonna be pulled apart. I'm gonna do head gaskets on it before we shoot up to Street Car Takeover Charlotte. But I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything else. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching today's video. It's been fun. I mean, this is my first time really towing a trailer with this car. And I mean, I have no complaints. It did it effortlessly, and I couldn't be any happier. So thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.